Hi guys! Oh my gosh, welcome to Bioskop and Champagne with me, Hopotso. And guys, I want to do a new segment. As you can see, I'm in a different setup, and in this little corner, we are going to be reviewing movies that I think are either bad or good, according to the light. Today's light is red, and I want to call this segment Bad Bioskop and Champagne. I don't drink, but let's just pretend metaphorical shampopo agar. Bad Bioskop and Champagne is an ongoing series. I want to do as many movies as I can. A little history on the name of my channel. Bioskop, as you know, is the equivalent of a movie theater, but in South Africa, we refer to Bioskop as the actual movie itself, hence the name Bad Bioskop and Champagne. Today we will be talking about Netflix's Happiness Is. It's a new Netflix original that was shot right here in South Africa. The synopsis of Happiness is as follows.
Turning 40 was meant to be a low-key event for Princess, but when her best friend throws her an unforgettable party, her entire world is shaken up.
Here's a disclaimer. I really do believe that too much of a good thing is bad. In South Africa's case, we were living on an abundant American romance diet in the 90s and well into the 2000s. And it's really costing us. Happiness is proof that everybody and their mama was watching chick flicks growing up. Am I mad that the South African entertainment industry is growing? Never. But am I rolling my eyes at parts of the phase we are going through right now? A phase that we need to go through together like you would teenagehood? Yes. But make no mistake, I will ride at dawn with all of the filmmakers of this country. I will ride with you, whether it's bad, whether it's good. This means that we are learning, and in the future, it's gonna be amazing. And I can't wait to be there, in this case, at my house, watching Happiness Is. So Happiness Is a second installment of Happily Ever After. Happiness Ever After? Was it Happily Ever After? That movie was published, I don't know, like a few years ago, but it's been on the African Netflix library for a while, for years really. Local is lekker and I live for it, but let's be honest, Happiness is really bad. It's a really bad movie. I didn't particularly enjoy it. It was watchable, sort of entertaining, something to pass time with. For me, it was all over the place. Nothing happened, but everything happened all at once. I don't know how they did it. It was magic. In my opinion, they tried to do the whole ensemble cast thing, but I still didn't care about the characters enough. And some of the names of the characters, I still don't know. Even after watching the movie twice, I don't know who Chef Boy is, and also the friend who's like a pimp named Slickback with the American accent. I don't understand. Is the accent supposed to be there? Was he method acting? Like pimp guy. He did great, but I don't know his name. I don't know the character's name, and I still don't care. I mean, like, what is Chef Boy's name? Does anybody know? The movie was a mishmash of like cheesy happiness quotes, cheesier romance, and an enemies to lovers trope they didn't know what to do with. Chef Boy was underutilized. He wasn't used enough. You didn't even see him in the movie much. You just saw him 5 times. Maybe I'm wrong, but I can count on my hand. On one hand, actually, how many times I saw Chef Boy. They missed out on such a big opportunity to use Chef Boy to really zone in on Chef Boy and Princess's hate for each other and make it fun. I don't know whether it was the pacing of the movie, the music, some of the acting, which was subpar, or the dubbing. Oh my God, so annoying. Did you notice? Because I did. And it pulled me out of the world of Happiness Is. I don't understand. And it was so apparent. They tried but failed. I heard it, and that's what matters. I wanted it to be so good. My expectations let me down. I expected too much, and they overserved They gave me too much and they couldn't concentrate on the things that really mattered and capitalize on those things, like the enemies to lovers trope and the forced proximity trope as well. There were points where the acting was so unbelievable and not in a good way. It was giving Ripley's Believe It or Not, and I couldn't believe it. Like, I couldn't suspend my disbelief anymore. I was like, this man is trying to act. And it was so obvious. The actor who is performing the character of Leo let me down quite a bit in some of the movie. Some of the movie, he was acting so well. He was performing the role so well. And then in others, he just dropped the ball. It fell off. It really did fall off. The pacing was very fast. They were in such a rush to give us everything, to tick off all of the things that are supposed to be in a romance movie, and they got all of those points from like a really bad template online. But there was a lot going on. There was this thing and then this thing, and there was no natural stop and start to the movie as you would expect, and that was really disappointing. The happiness quotes, oh my god. Subtlety, guys, is a thing, and I don't know what was happening with the script and the happiness quotes, but they didn't trust the audience to just understand, oh, this is what's happening, I get it. No, they had to always remind us with a quote every 5 minutes, and it got old really quickly, and it disrupted and felt shoehorned in. It was like, I love this part, I love what she said here, we're going to fit it in there somewhere, whether it makes sense or not, who cares, as long as me, I'm happy. That also made me stop suspending my disbelief, and I was always in some way pulled out of the world the movie was building, because oh my god, we get it, bro. Like, you don't have to always be telling us about, hey, quote number 1 so hey, happiness, hey, life, oh, hey, guys, we bo. Because in the beginning of the movie, we know she's 40, she's very anxious about turning 40, and how she doesn't have a partner. Every other part of her life is essentially thriving except for her love life. At those points specifically, I was like, Emma, and it happened so much. The music borders on ridiculous in the funny and awkward scenes. I don't know whether they didn't have like a budget for that, funny and awkward section. They didn't have a budget for the music, because the rest of the score, guys, the tracks they used within the movie were top tier. All of it local, all of it just like young and fresh. I loved it so much. But when it came to the funny and awkward moments, the music used there was just like gimmicky. The dubbing, let's talk about the dubbing. The dubbing was very apparent. I could hear that we are in a studio right now, somewhere in Joburg, dubbing over this movie. Why did they pay? I understand that you had to fix the audio, and some of the parts were like, sketchy, where it was like, hey, we have to go to the studio. But it was so apparent. For me, it pulled me out yet again out of the movie, out of the world building. Oh my God, I would roll my eyes every time I heard that this part is dubbed. It's so obvious. It really killed the vibe for me, Yet another factor of me thinking and being like, this is not make sure. Mind you, I watched it in its original audio, so guys, you can't escape it. So good luck to you as well, please. Good luck to you. The script let me down because certain things would be thrown in there that were like out of whack. They left me confused. There was this one specific scene where Leo said something out of this world. I was like, Kanjani manje, why? I don't understand the motivation behind why you are saying this right now. I paused the movie and I was like, but why? Why would you say that? It doesn't make sense. Also, some of the decisions Princess would make within the movie didn't make sense. They were just like, why? This is common sense. I feel like common sense was pulled out in those scenes, and for no reason, because even if you did put it back in and she did what anyone would do in that situation, whatever was supposed to happen next would not be affected at all. This is Happiness Is. We open the movie with Princess waking up, and within her phone, she has a reminder of her birthday that is coming up. From this, we find that she is very apprehensive about turning 40.
Milestone birthdays are a funny thing. They make us feel the need to take stock of our lives and ask, are we happy?
Her love life is in the gutter, but everything else, every other part of her life is thriving. She is an arts dealer. She is a mother of one, and she is co-parenting finally with her ex, whose name is Leo, co-parenting a daughter. So cute. She is essentially still pining for Leo, even though Leo is a recovering drug addict. She took it upon herself to fix him, to get him on track, to get him off the drugs, and then finally reach his potential as an artist. He is a painter, and some of his art has been exhibited in Princess's place of work. It's a gallery where she procures the art, and he's doing great too because of her. We also meet Dumi, who is with her boyfriend Sabelo in the parking area of the gallery. They are trying to have car, and it's clearly not working.
Wait, move your leg around.
I can't move.
You played netball.
Just ow, my knees. Give me a second, wait. I can't do this. This is...
Okay.
Sorry.
But you started it.
Princess's mother arrives to her gallery showing. Princess introduces Dumi to her mom. This is where we find out that Dumi is a high-end event planner, and she is the one who is planning Princess's birthday party. Sabelo then also introduces himself to Princess, and Princess only knows him as a +1. His face falls, and he realizes Dumi really does think that they are a situationship instead of what he wants, which is them being official. Her mother does notice that Princess seems to not be so excited about having a birthday party. Dumi is still pining for her previous ex, who is now married and is basically starting a family. His current partner is pregnant. We find that Leo is also experiencing artist's block despite his exhibition being 3 weeks away. This exhibition, Princess shoehorned him into at a press conference where he was just answering a couple of questions. Princess was like, no, this man is going to be doing a exhibition in this gallery in 3 weeks. But she doesn't know that he's experiencing artist's block.
So Leo, when can we expect to see your next exhibition?
You can expect to find Leo's next series of work here at this very gallery.
But nothing's confirmed yet.
It'll be a solo exhibition, and we will be launching it here in 3 weeks.
Leo's new collection of work is inspired by the woman who saved him. Princess goes to Leo's place to pick up Thandi, who is their daughter. They just talk about how everything is, and Princess invites Leo to her birthday party as a +1. Princess assumes that Leo has essentially completed his paintings, but he has not. So on the way home with Thandi, Princess notices that Thandi is putting on lipstick and first chastises her about wearing makeup and then asks her where she got the lipstick. And Thandi goes on to explain how she found the lipstick in her father's bathroom. This is where we all know that Leo is apparently dating a new person. And Princess is not a fan of that. Tears come to her eyes. She is jealous that Leo is finally moving on. Princess and Thandi then, after leaving Leo's place, they go to Dumi's house, where Dumi gifts Thandi tickets to a K-pop concert. So we find that they are coming to the country and Thandi is so excited. She even says that she wants to go with both her parents so that they can be a happy family once again. After hearing Thandi's high hopes, Princess goes to Leo's house that night and Leo then declines her invitation to her birthday party. They then have a whole fight about how Leo is bringing women around Thandi. Leo then answers that he has now moved on and she should do the same thing. She is not the boss of him anymore just because she's the one who put in all of this effort and invested so much in him for him to become this person that is a good father, a good provider, an artist finally. We find Dumi and Sabelo sharing a bath together. Sabelo tries to get Dumi to meet his family, to which he fails, and he also fails to get a +1 invitation to Princess's 40th birthday. After her argument the next morning, Princess then tells Dumi that she wants to cancel her birthday party and is going away to the Bundus to her mother's house to be alone and decompress. En route to her mother's mansion, I'm gonna say mansion a lot. En route to her mother's mansion in the Bundus. It sounds scary though, right? It's like, are we gonna die there? But we all know it's a romance, so whatever. Princess crashes into her love interest, Chef Boy.
Oh, shit.
What is wrong with you?
What is wrong with me? What the hell is wrong with you?
Why were you indicating? I thought you
There's
were
a
going.
guy with the red flag.
Yeah, I thought you were turning, okay?
Turning to where?
Sorry, is this roadworthy?
It's...
She bumps into him with her car. Obviously, they hate each other because he doesn't have insurance and like he's a farmer boy. He looks so poor and stuff. He is giving Farmer Wants a Wife, right? And their chemistry is really good, but they never use Chef Boy properly. It's like he's there as a prop for Mahalaha. They just paid him to come in and be a servant boy. Which is so sad. Oh my gosh, so sad. Once she arrives at her mother's house, it seems tranquil and quiet. Only there is a knock on the door and surprise, surprise, it's Chef Boy. He reveals that he will be the chef for her birthday party.
You.
Princess,
Yes?
I'm your birthday chef.
What? Excuse you.
She still gets ambushed and is forced still to do her 40th at her mother's mansion. Dumi calls Sabelo and says she has an emergency. She needs to go to her friend to make sure she's all right and actually have the party over there. Sabelo then decides to invite his sister as a +1 for their road trip to Princess's mother's house, and we find that Sabelo's sister, whose name is Nelly, is friends with this pimp named Slickback character who has an American accent. By the way, it's so weird. And this club pimp man invites himself so that him and Nelly can scope out Sabelo's new partner. So everyone then end up at the house. This is where chaos ensues, obviously. When they do arrive, she's like, oh, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? And like for me, I was like, okay, it's fine. You reacted like that. But she didn't call the popo and be like, no, leave my house, you know? Leave my house right now. I don't need this. And especially in the Bundus, the police are gonna arrive like that. So, my sister, tell us you wanted them there without telling us you wanted them there. So that night, a storm is brewing. Leo also arrives at the house and we find that Leo is Nelly's +1. So the lipstick that Thandi was wearing belongs to Nelly. Surprise, surprise. They're in a relationship. We find that they are this big up modern family where Sabelo is in a relationship, a situationship with Dumi, who's best friends with Princess, who is the co-parent to Leo, who's in a relationship with Nelly. It's a whole thing. Even Fifi is like, whoa, this is Fifi is sort of like a would-be influencer. She is trying to spill the tea on Instagram about what's happening at the house. Princess decides to leave the house, and immediately after that it starts raining. She goes outside on the porch, and the rain, guys, the most unreal rain ever was the lighting. The circumference of rain that was supposed to be there. It looked fake. Oh my God. I refuse. The rain was not raining.
Princess, leave.
She's standing at the porch waiting for the Uber or whatever to arrive. Dumi comes out and says, oh my gosh, friend, it's raining. The roads are too wet to leave right now. Just stay for your safety. Dumi actually convinces her to stay. Lightning strikes while Princess and Dumi are outside, and there is a power outage. But I will not believe that. I and you and we as South Africans understand that load shedding is real, and they did not and could not escape Eskom. The club guy also invited a +1 of his own, and her name is Fifi. Fifi already knows Sabelo from a past that is not even explained. And Dumi's jealous streak comes out because she does recognize that Sabelo and Fifi know each other and are sort of kind of cozy with each other. And she's like, not with my man. Even though their relationship is sort of casual, and she's the one who set it up that way. Fifi then also tells everyone about Norma and how Sabelo fell in love with Norma and gave her everything only to be heartbroken at the end. Princess is upstairs having a bath to relax more. She then comes downstairs when everyone else is asleep. She rummages for food, and here's the common sense again. She opens the top cupboard. She's very short, and instead of taking a chair, a stool, to be like, oh my God, I need to be taller, right? Common sense. She jumps up and down in the dark to see what's in the cupboard. This is the stuff that pulled me out of the world. I was like, it's not make sure. This is irritating. This is just like, this is so dumb, really dumb. As she's jumping up and down trying to see what's in the very dark cupboard up there in the sky, Chef Boy walks in. He then cooks for her, right? Well, this is them trying to shoehorn the romance in there without them properly like spending time together, even though they don't like it, you know, them playing games together as a whole group in the dark while load shedding is there. And then we can see them connect, you know, mindically, telepathy is real in love. But no, they had to shoehorn in this scene where he comes in there and then cooks for her. He proceeds to tell Princess about how he left his entire life in London, where he was this very successful chef in the UK, and he came back here because he was unhappy. Instead of them showing us that Princess can find happiness in the little things with Chef Boy, I don't know, you know that thing where he comes in and is like, no, relax, and holds her because she's afraid of the thunder. No, they have to just tell us all of these things instead of showing us. It's so annoying. It makes the movie so bad. I don't like it. So disappointed. The movie has the subtlety of a wet fish slapping someone in the face. And it's so apparent. I'm not laughing, I'm crying. I'm just like, it's so she can't up and leave, you know, like he did. After him saying that, there's this pull of the camera away from the scene, and then it's like, all right. It's the next morning, and the Princess then convinces Dumi to host a simple dinner instead of this big bash she's been planning this whole time. Her and Dumi are doing yoga outside. Doing is a strong word. They are just sitting around on mats in yoga pants over breakfast. Princess then invites everyone to stay for her birthday weekend. Nelly is served ginger tea for her nausea by Chef Boy, and she tells Sabelo that it's just a stomach bug. The gang go quad biking. The gang is at the hiking trail. Leo corners Princess to have a conversation about everything, and they try to have a conversation about how she met Nelly and how awkward that was. But like Princess then says, no man, she's a little bit young. Leo answers with vitriol and essentially says something with strong undertones of slut shaming. He accuses her of essentially giving it up to Chef Boy. That is f***ed up. It was giving jealousy streak, and aren't you supposed to be happy with Nelly? Why are you also disrespecting your daughter's mother? It's like the scripting has issues.
Nelly, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know. She seems, young. So
Judgmental. For someone who's already giving it up for a guy she just met.
It lost me. I was so confused. I paused the movie and I was like, how? That scene itself was just so disjointed. Somebody in editing must have loved it so much they kept it in, and it wasn't a good idea. We find out that Tumi is still going to host the big birthday bash despite Princess asking her nicely to just keep it low-key and casual and have a dinner. Everyone is back at the house. The guys then go to a local bar where they are like playing pool and stuff, and they are having a conversation about Sabelo and Tumi's situationship and how Tumi is the one who doesn't want to make things official. The guys then advise him to just tell her the truth so that things can finally be official and they can, be Instagram girls or whatever. Princess, Nelly, and Tumi are back at the house. They are sunbathing by the pool, and Princess then decides to start the conversation about Nelly's readiness to be a stepmom. This obviously makes Nelly very nervous, and Princess is happy about that. We find that Nelly doesn't really want to have kids of her own. The music they use again in the scene is like, God, the music budget, why didn't you also add it here? Like, it was such a bad choice. Tumi sees an image of Fifi and Sabelo having fun on Instagram, and she then convinces Princess and Nelly to go to the bar so that they can see what's really going on. When they arrive at the bar, they only find Leo there, and Leo explains that no, they just decided to go ziplining together. Tumi goes after Sabelo at the ziplining spot and makes him jealous. We find the rest of the gang at couples ziplining, and I must say, when Tumi, Sabelo and Fifi take over the scene and Tumi comes in with the zipline guy, we see the chemistry. They are so funny. The music took away from it a bit, but the chemistry is electric. They're a funny combo. In response, he then kisses Tumi in front of everyone. He stakes his claim on her and is like, my woman, and it's like, oh, so good. And also they have a really good chemistry. They then zipline and have the time of their lives. Sabelo then tells Tumi that he loves her, and Tumi runs away. She runs back to the house and goes and tells Princess what happened, and then she finally spills the beans about how a previous marriage ended. Her ex wanted to start a family and have a family of his own so desperately, but Tumi could not get pregnant, and that is the main reason why they had split up. She has qualms about how she has like trauma, really, about how her ex didn't love her enough to stay with her, even though they wouldn't be able to have biological children. For her, that she says that that's the reason why she is keeping Sabelo at a distance and not wanting to make it official, because he might not love her enough if something ever did come up that she couldn't control. Princess goes back into the house and finds Nelly barfing. She also hears Nelly ask Siri how long morning sickness lasts, and this is how she finds out that Nelly is expecting, and I feel like she's gonna use the information in some way. Princess and Chef Boy go to a local community center where there is like a makeshift gallery. They go out for fresh air because there was a lot going on. That's where they spend their time and they talk. The quotes come out. Oh my gosh, this is indicative of like metaphor for her trying to start a new connection among the ruins of her old life. You know, Leo is a painter. We find that Sabelo, after dropping the album, went to a bar and he drowned his sorrows and actually used Fifi's advice and wrote out a list of pros and cons of being in a relationship with Dumi. The gang then decides to go to a game drive to see the animals and whatnot, and Dumi decides to bring Zipline Guy back to make Sabelo jealous again, and it works. We're back home, it's later in the night, and the gang is playing charades. An almost fight breaks out between Sabelo and Zipline Guy over Dumi. Princess outs Nelly for being preggers via the game. Leo is upset that she did not tell him. This is where the unbelievable acting comes in. No feeling whatsoever. It felt like he was reading his lines from a board behind her head. The acting there was unbelievable for me. I stopped suspending my belief and I was like, this is not good. This is not right. He postulates and actually asks her whether he was left in the dark because she was thinking of actually, you know, canceling the pregnancy. Princess is satisfied with herself, but everybody is mad at Princess and they're like, oh, you suck, Princess, you suck so hard for what you did. You're such a mean person. They asked Princess why she did that. It wasn't her information to share. She then said she just did it to protect Leo. She even tells Leo this. So within the aftermath, Princess realizes that she was wrong for doing what she did. She also realizes because someone told her that the only person who will suffer from what she has done is her daughter, because the dad might also relapse. That's also a thing. She's not about to be a single mom again. Okay, her savior complex can't do this twice. Yeah, she realizes her wrongdoings and she goes on a journey to fix it. After finding out that Nelly is pregnant, Leo goes to a bar. Remember, he is a recovering addict, but he doesn't even drink a single drop of alcohol. There is temptation. This guy comes along and is like, oh, you can have a drink. I know your problems are because of women, so let's do this, guy. And he's like, no. He just said no. Remember that campaign from the 80s?
I get angry just thinking about it. Makes me mad. Little kids doing drugs, it turns my stomach. That stuff hurts. It stops you from living up to your potential. It holds you back. It hurts the user. It hurts his family. And it hurts his friends. I just want to shake some sense into you kids that are using drugs and think about using it. So remember, don't, or else. Okay?
Just say no. And it worked for Leo.
I'm not interested.
Princess then goes after Leo and finds him at the bar. They then have a conversation about how sorry she is for ruining his relationship. He then promises to fix everything once they get back to the house.
When Leo goes back to reconcile with Nelly, Nelly is initially receptive to his words. He mentions that he was at the bar with Princess. She then loses it and tells him to just leave her room and leave her alone. Dumi and Princess have a powwow about counting their blessings over wine. The quotes are back. It's just like, guys, ons is moeg, me bra. Can't we see these people just cry over watching Titanic or something? Or like look into space. You know, we get it. Look into space, the camera pulls out, and we're like, damn, she did a wrong thing. How is she gonna fix it? You know? But no, they have to pile us with quotes again. Jesus. Guys, the quotes, they will kill you. Watch the movie. I can't suffer alone. I won't. It's the day of Princess's birthday party. Sabelo finds Fifi outside, recording a whole segment on Instagram Live. She advises Sabelo to talk to Tumi. If he doesn't talk to her, he's going to regret it forever. Tumi finally tells Princess that she is going ahead with her birthday bash, whether she likes it or not. Princess is appreciative of that, and she's like, oh, I actually need this party, hey. I'm not mad at you for still planning it behind my back. Princess then goes into Nelly's room and tries to smooth everything over by inviting her to her birthday bash. Nelly is like, get the out. I don't want to listen to this. Really, like, I don't need this in my life. Okay, I don't need to stay here. You ruined everything. Off. Finally, common sense. And for Princess to think that an invitation will smooth everything over, come on, man. Having one good night compared to like the rest of her life without Leo because she ruined everything. That's not a good. It's no. It's not make sure the math is not mathing, ma'am. We find Leo in the backyard speaking to his sponsor because he is a recovering addict. Princess comes through and invites him to go to the local gallery where they then have a conversation and smooth things over, so everything is hunky-dory with them. Before they leave, a group of students, local artists, come through and they ask Princess to model for them for their paintings, and she graciously agrees. We are back at the house, and Nelly, Fifi, Sabelo, and the club promoter guy then decide to go back to Johannesburg. They tell Tumi this. She tries to convince them to stay, but they have now decided and they leave. We are back at the makeshift gallery. We see Leo mentoring the kids on how to paint and stuff. And then Leo then also paints a portrait of Princess and gifts it to her for her 40th. Leo also tells Princess he is experiencing artist's block. When Princess and Leo come back and find them gone, Leo goes into a panic and tries to call Nelly the entire time. Sabelo, Fifi, and Pimp Guy are at a pit stop on their way back to Johannesburg, and Sabelo asks Pimp Guy if he has edibles, and Pimp Guy says, no man, you shouldn't be drowning your sorrows in drugs. You should just go back to the party and actually talk to Tumi. Stop avoiding her. Face your fears, my guy. Later in the evening, Princess's party is in full swing. The dress she's wearing, beautiful. It's red. The hair. Guys, I must say that the fashion in this movie, in local productions, really, the fashion is like impeccable. Guys, Nina Mang, whoever the wardrobe people are, you did a beautiful job. I support, I agree. Princess's mom arrives. Princess goes up to Leo after her mother had spoken to him, and she then finds out within their conversation that Nelly was the actual muse he was talking about when he was telling the press about his new gallery showing. This upsets her so much that she runs to the closet. Doesn't turn gay, okay? She's not a lesbian. She just runs to the closet because she is running away from her problems and her really crappy love life. Chef Boy finds her, and then they start making out and almost do the deed. And then Princess stops and is like, we shouldn't do this. I tend to do this all the time. I tend to go into situations without thinking, and that should stop now. She then leaves the closet. Pun unintended, okay? She did leave the closet to come back outside for the party. The cake comes out while everyone sings happy birthday to Princess. Tumi and Princess have a public spat in front of everyone as Tumi delivers her speech to her best friend. They say things they cannot take back. The music again is ridiculous. Jesus, man. The girls are then upset at each other. Everyone goes to bed. Obviously, the night is ruined because of Dumi and Princess's selfishness. It's the next morning after the whole food fight that Princess and Dumi had. Princess then apologizes to Chef Boy for ruining the cake. We also find that Dumi has been looking for Sabelo that morning, and they find that he is missing, guys, and it's giving the Hangover type of vibe. We find that Sabelo took some edibles last night before going missing, and the edibles belong to none other than club promoter guy. So what is this man's job? How does he make money? I hope it's not anything egregious. They reference Club Paradise and what had happened with his previous love interest, which is Norma, and how he went on a bender, apparently. Hey, Gooby.
Yeah. I don't know him. I've never seen him.
No?
Okay, I'm gonna make some calls.
Hello? Fifi. Any word on Sabelo?
One of the guests said they saw him heading into the bush towards the river.
They hike and they're like, Sabelo, Sabelo, come out, wherever you are. You know, let down your hair. You know? They find that he is okay, and he had lost his phone because there was no reception. It was so dark, so he went into a cave to like spend the night there, and he's fine. Leo and Nelly finally have an adult conversation about their impending parenthood. They are both recovering addicts. Apparently, guys, they met at rehab, buddy, too. Like, oh my god. You see, so much is going on, but nothing is ever explained. They should have just cornered one or two things and did that well. Oh my god, we would be having a different conversation. Dumi is heartbroken over Sabelo, and she knows it's her fault because she brought Zipline guy. Princess gets the gang together once again to get Dumi and Sabelo back together. They hatch a plan to lock them in the downstairs cellar together and only let them out after they have reconciled and are officially together. This gives me pause, because what if one of them is claustrophobic and they have a panic attack and God forbid die? But anything in the name of love, right? Anything in the name of love. They do have a conversation finally, and they make up and do it in the salon. Sabelo then, out of left field, proposes to Dumi, and she says yes. And I'm like, what the is this? This whole year it was a situationship. Are you her saying yes for me was a no, bad choice. They should have just dated another year, you know, and be official for a year finally. Princess invites Nelly and Leo to K-pop concert that Tandy will be at, so that Nelly can finally meet their daughter for the first time, and she agrees. Dumi and Princess then apologize to each other and make up. Princess says her life is enough right before Chef Boy comes on screen and delivers a tray of food. They then say life begins at 40. Oh my god, these life quotes. And Princess then stands up and goes after Chef Boy. And that's it. That's the end of the movie. That's the end of the movie. Do you see how little they used Chef Boy? They underutilized him. Oh my god, it could have been so great if they just went another direction. They shoehorned in so much other stuff that was irrelevant. They just gave us this buffet, and we have to decide what's important. And that's not how movies work. The filmmaker needs to tell us what is important, and they failed. That's why this movie is so bad. I wanted more. My expectations let me down. Watching it wasn't a total waste of my time. It was entertaining, yes, but was it good? No. It wasn't. It really wasn't, and I'm sad. Thank you for watching. I hope that you actually enjoyed it. Tell me below if you are wanting me to watch more movies. You can also recommend other movies to me that I can watch with you. Any bad ones or good ones, it's your choice. Do you think it was good? Because I didn't. but I am not offended that it exists. Thank you again for all of the subscribers. Thank you guys for watching these series, these reality TV shows with me, these movies with me. What will I watch next? Find out on the next video. Bye guys.